So if you're watching this, you probably caught Creed 3 on Amazon Prime Video. It recently landed there. Get it? Landed like a punch. I'll walk myself out. And you know what? For half of this movie, I was thinking this was the best one in the Creed trilogy. And then I was like, no, same old problems. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at CalderaLab.com, makers of the finest skincare for real men. Yeah, this will have you trading blows with Adonis. A claim I can back up because he's a fictional character. Use my promo code FRY15, save 15% at checkout. Okay, so our film kicks off. We've got Adonis Creed. He's at the height of his powers, beating a guy that I think we saw briefly in the previous films. But yeah, he defeats him, unites the belts, and he retires at the same time. But time goes by. We have a deaf daughter who I thought when she was born, they said that she had hearing. Am I missing that? I don't know. I don't really want to go back and watch Creed 2. Wifey is producing music, and Adonis likes to promote some fights. Drops by Little Duke's gym. He's got this fighter, Felix. He's the champ. Really looking like a successful post-fighting career. Enter Dame, not Judi Dench, a figure from Adonis's past. They used to be in the same foster care facility. Dame got into boxing. Adonis was kind of a promoter for him. But one night, Adonis started a scuffle, and Dame interfered to save him, drawing a gun. And somehow he got a ton of jail time for this. Is that a California 3 strikes thing? I'm asking because no shots were fired, and yet this guy goes to jail for a period of time that would be longer than some murders. Finally out, he wants to make that jump to pro boxing, the career that was denied. And of course, they talk it up like he's an old man. He's at retirement age. He's younger than me, so I feel old. I don't know. Maybe they're saying that Dame is actually older than Jonathan Majors. So his cat Felix needs to train to fight Drago's boy. Dame gets his shot at being a sparring partner. Hey, baby steps for that career, right? But when Drago is attacked at a record party, fight promoter Adonis pulls one out of Daddy's playbook. Have the champ take on an unknown. And now it's time for Dame to shine. I mean, this Jonathan Majors, he's pretty well built. You could have bought that he was a heavyweight fighter in maybe the 80s, but nowadays, these guys are massive. But he's more heavyweight than Michael B. Jordan. Dame fights a little dirty, defeats Felix, and then Mama Creed goes, and she goes and gets these letters, that Damon wrote letters to Adonis, but he never got them. Oh, because she was hoarding them, keeping them, you got to move on. You got to not have this bad influence in your past, pulling down your future. Creed 3 is the directorial debut of Michael B. Jordan. The story looks like it's maybe done by a Coogler brother. And the first film in the extended Rocky franchise to not feature Sylvester Stallone. Now, as up to this point, I was rather enjoying the film. Now, I do take some issues with the way the boxing is shown, slowing down time. The presentation doesn't look like real life nor a boxing broadcast. It looks like two guys squaring off in a green screen environment. Oh, and it'll be more evident later. But Jordan does a poor job of conveying who it was that attacked Drago, evidently an associate of Dame from prison. Mama Creed dies. Because it's easy drama in a Rocky film. People die left, right, and center. But you're telling me Rocky Balboa wouldn't attend the funeral of Apollo's widow? Little Duke, the son of Duke, who was Apollo's trainer, takes a heightened role, seemingly filling in for Sylvester Stallone being a no-show. Alright, just theorizing here, I'm thinking Sylvester Stallone turned down Creed 3 because they wanted Rocky Balboa to die, so Marianne Creed took the bullet instead. So now it falls on Adonis to come out of retirement and win the title from Dame. And what can only be described as the franchise's most surreal boxing match. Oh, it's just you and me this round. Oh yeah, the turnbuckle, it's kind of like that bed we got thrown against when we were beaten in foster care. The plot twist that Dame is a hard villain made for a predictable ending. Wouldn't it have been more ambitious to have had Adonis go up against a guy that we're actually rooting for? And hell, let Adonis give him a good fight, but lose. Hell, Uncle Rocky lost with grace. A simple adjustment in which Dame wasn't some guy who hired a goon to attack Drago so he could get a title shot, and instead a guy who was wronged by society, who tried to protect Adonis, and the embodiment of the underdog story in a way in which Adonis never was, would have made for easily the strongest of all three Creed films. But this is the route they chose, and it's still a competent film. It just unfortunately isn't willing to take risks. I give Creed 3 2.5 out of 4 stars.
If you appreciate a YouTube channel that doesn't just pad out content to get to the 8-minute mark, so that it can hammer you with ad breaks, then you should subscribe to my son's channel. You just got done watching it.